Hello, Wake Up New Zealand, Karaseka speaking. I'm referring to a news article that was written in Stuff, New Zealand, the 13th of November 2015, with the government complying to the ultimatum from the Iwi leaders to surrender control of the nation's water to Iwi Maori within 1 year. The government met with the Iwi leaders in the April prior to this to work out how to manage that surrender. They decided to hand the control to Iwi at a regional level. So that is catchment by catchment and council by council. So fast forward, now this year we have the replacement of the Resource Management Act, and that will be replaced with 3 new legislation. So this is all part of it, all part of the 3 waters. That was already planned. That 3 waters reform was going to go ahead no matter what. This has been planned for a long time. So we're talking about iwi decision-making, management, monitoring, management of freshwater rights, controlling of freshwater rights, implementing Iwi Rights as agreed upon by the Labour and national governments. They have both agreed to that. So Helen Clark in 2005, under her government, the Iwi Freshwater Leaders Group was actually formed. And since then, there's been a lot of talk behind the scenes with politicians, governments, and Willie Jackson has been the voice in Parliament to represent those iwi leaders groups. So we're talking about this report here on the 13th of November 2015. A political think tank is set to revive the Iwi-Kiwi advertising theme to highlight what it claims is a plan to give Maori water rights by stealth. It echoes a notorious 2005 National Party advertisement during the height of the foreshore and seabed, which showed National-backed Kiwi, while Labour-backed Iwi over ownership of the beaches. So it goes back to that. Canterbury law lecturer here from Canterbury University, David Brown, said there was no legal, moral or common sense or justification for any iwi Maori claim to fresh water, and under common law there is not. The air that you breathe and water are quite different. There is no ownership of those. So iwi elite are now in the driver's seat. These indigenous iwi freshwater leaders group and the National Iwi Leaders Group, they're in the front driver's seat. The government is in the back passenger seat, and we, the people, are the roadkill, and you're going to pay big time for this. So this is what amounts to a 2-tier society, 2 classes. It's cultural Marxism. They call it collectivism, but the very core of collectivism is totalitarianism. So we're talking about identity politics, a 2-class system, divide and conquer. And this is what's happening in New Zealand. And I would say most people with Maori blood have no idea what's going on here, because this is just a minority group. They're leaders. They have been on this bandwagon for a very long time, like Margaret Mutu, who was sent over to the UN and was supported by the Human Rights Commission. And then she came back, and in 2017 she asked Ngāti Mahuta to actually entrench the UNDRIP into New Zealand, and Ngāti Mahuta was really ambitious to do that. So she said she'd set out a plan. The plan was concluded, finished in November 2019, and the public weren't told about this. It was kept a secret. Then in February 2020, an OIA request actually brought out what was actually happening and what that plan was. And that plan was Hey Purpura. So Hey Purpura, working alongside the Three Waters reform, all going to happen, all part of the great transition, the reset for the Indigenous in New Zealand to control all the natural resources of New Zealand. Wake up, New Zealand.